the needle on the record.
Finds Barrett. Get a shot up. This is for the win. Oh, it's good. The window. Wins it for the Knicks.
All right, New York Knicks fans, it's a Tim with Online Big Blue bringing you the best of New York Knicks sports talk and entertainment. We got some giant videos coming up as well, but I want to talk about the Knicks and the point men, the guys that are out there that the Knicks could pursue if some guy in Texas named Jalen doesn't come to New York, if the Cuban opens up the pocketbook, goes over the luxury tax. But there are other guys available. Are they as flashy? Some are. Or will they be as productive? I don't even know, because we don't know what Jalen Brunson's going to be yet. We don't know what he's going to be without the Luka. I live on the second floor. I don't know. But you know what? There are other options available. A lot of people are always looking at the Malcolm Brogdon, 29 years old, with the Indiana Pacers. He looks like he's on the trading block now that I don't know if the Pacers are going to be truly moving on from him, but it looks like they probably are after the gentleman they just drafted. He comes with his bag. He comes with baggage. He only appeared in 36 games last year. Hasn't appeared in more than 64 games in a single season since his rookie year. He's going to be owed $22.6 million this year, and 22.5 after that. He's a guy, 6-year career averaging 15.5, 4-point assists. He hits 37% from the 3 line, from beyond 3, I should say the 3 line. I can't talk today. Not a sexy pick. Is he a building block? Is he a guy that is going to be here for years to come? I'm going to tell you this. He's better than what we have. You know, Rose is on the downslide. I still don't think Quickly is a true point guard. But I think, honestly, the Pacers are just asking too much. They want a stockpile of draft choices. They're going to have to move. I think they're going to have to move on from the kid. But like I said, I think, honestly, he's worth maybe one of the later round, first round picks that we have in return. I'm not saying he's going to be worth 3 of them. I think there's an overestimation on the Pacers' part right now of what they can get for this kid. He's not even a kid. He's 29 years old. But you know what? I mean, it's one of those moves that you look at it and the injuries should scare anyone away. They should frighten people and be like, you know what? Maybe that's a guy that we can't build around. And you look at him, he's 29 years old. And of course, 29 in the NBA is not old. But you're going to be heading towards a downslope of your career. So I think we should possibly stay away from that direction. You also have to take a look at Tyrus Jones over at the Grizzlies. He's a free agent. He's probably looking to cash in now. The guy's a stud defender. He's a quality defender. And he's also one of those guys that does not turn the ball over. And he's coming off his career year. All these guys are always coming off his career years. But his career year is only 8.7 scoring, 2.4 in the rebounds. He hit 39% from 3. And he averages 21.2 minutes a game. When Ja went out, his numbers and expanded role, his numbers went up in those 23 games. He averaged 12.7 and 6.6 assists in those games. And Memphis landed. Who did Memphis? Memphis got what's his name? Kennedy Chandler from Tennessee. So you got to be thinking that he is going to another guy that Jones is going to be moving out. But again, it's a guy that's going to be a little bit more of a risk because he is an unknown. Jalen Brunson to me right now is a 1-season guy. Jones, on the other hand, hasn't even been a full season guy yet. So we have to kind of wait and see. He would be one of those. He reminds me of one of those Knicks picks or Knicks draft, or I should say free agents from years ago, where we looked at talent and said, you know what, we can make him better than he was. We can turn this all around. You also got to look down the pike over at Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving would be a pick from the Knicks or a signing or a trade from the Knicks that really would go back into the days of yore. Going back into the Stevie Francis days when we tried to team him up with Marbury, or even going back to the Marbury days. It just wouldn't make sense, but it would be a typical old school James Dolan move. Let me just take all this money and throw it at this superstar who's a knucklehead. Highly talented, you can never take that away from Kyrie. Missed a lot of the games, of course, because he refused to get the COVID vaccine, but that's his own personal choice. I never faulted him for that. But he would be a guy that the Knicks would look at and it would salivate. Back, if you're looking at the early 2000s, you look at the Isaiah Thomas era, this was a player the Knicks would salivate for. They would make it, they would move heaven and earth to get Kyrie Irving. But we're not going that direction now. Now, the big name that every Knicks fan has on their lips is going to, of course, be Murray over with the Spurs. But are the Spurs going to be willing to move Murray? Murray will take several first-round picks, probably Obi Toppin, probably quickly as well. Now, of course, we own 11 first-rounders in the next 7 years. Teaming up this 6'4" guard, you have to admit it would be a franchise changer. You team him up with R.J. Barrett, and you're basically giving the Knicks one of the best backcourts that they've had in years. I'm not going to go crazy and say it's as good as, back in the days in the olds in the 70s. But this would be a backcourt. This would probably be one of the best backcourts that Tibbs ever had. Murray's coming off a phenomenal, awesome, wonderful season where he averaged 21.1, 9.2 assists, 8.3 rebounds. And the dude is still only 25 years old with 2 years left on his contract. But you're gonna break the bank to get him. You really are. You're gonna have to give up, I would say, minimum 4 first rounders, and I think that's what the Spurs are looking for. You're gonna have to give up probably 2 quality players and young players. I think you're gonna be looking, like I said, I think you're gonna have to look at Toppin. You're gonna have to look at Quickly. You're gonna have to want to pivot the entire franchise by making this move. Because I'm still not 100% sure that the Knicks are sold on Julius Randle, that they aren't going to move on from him or try to move on from him from some point. I'm still not 100% sure what we're going to do with Evan. There's a lot of talk about Evan being traded back to the Celtics, or being traded to the Celtics. Of course, we signed him as a free agent. But I think you're going to have to attach at least one of those first-round picks over for the Celtics to take Evan's contract. So while you have a plethora of assets, are you going to be able to use those assets to move on and then gain players if you swing and miss on Jalen Brunson? I don't like everything being in the Brunson basket. I know people talk about his connection with Derrick Rose, excuse me. There's that. Everyone talks about the connection, but I don't buy that. It's money. It's money talks, bullshit walks. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. And it's really going to come down to Jalen if he wants to be the guy. Is he happy in Dallas? Can he live in Dallas and be the guy that he wants to be that focal point, to be that player? Or does he just want to be a bit player on a championship team or a part of a championship team, be one of 5 instead of being 1A or 1B going with RJ Barrett's 1A? It's going to be interesting. We're going to be coming up on free agency real quick. It's going to be here before you know it. There's talk that he's going to have contracts, or he'll sign a contract, Jalen Brunson is, before, I shouldn't say before, but right after the start of free agency. So I'm kind of curious. Cuban said it before. He's not afraid to go with luxury tax to sign him. I don't know if that's changed. I don't know if they've cooled off on that stance yet, but you never know. You read a lot of the newspapers out of Dallas, and they're basically saying that, they're basically just saying that, yes, they want to keep him. So we got to kind of wait and see what it is. But like I said, there are other options. I'm leery with Jalen, but you know what? You got to, I hate it. I hate the phrase, but you got to trust the process. You got to see what happens. Let's see what we do in free agency. Maybe some big moves will come around. Maybe some things that'll shock us. Maybe some things that'll turn around. I mean, you literally had to have Leon Rose come out the other day and put out that statement, just basically saying, be patient, guys. Let's wait and see what happens. And again, this is Tim with the Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Knicks sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could maybe subscribe. If you ring that bell, you know what I mean? That'd be awesome.